Alrighty. Shalom, Israel. I want to start by giving all glory and the praises to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. And the brother I'm on for downtown Florida from the camp props of Babylon. Coming to the quick kid just being by BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. Lord went to edify and feed the sheep. Double honor to that was an apostle, great millstone, teaching well. Peace and blessings to the brothers who pushing his work in true sincerity to this scattered abroad. Now I just want to go into this lesson. All right, going into this post that I seen, man, going into these tariff wars, all right, incidents, taking place here in America, man. All right, you have these major companies, all right, known as, Walmart, Target, and Home Depot, okay, meeting up with this guy, Trump, all right, due to these situations, all right, with these tariff wars and how it how is it affecting our business, okay? So they recently had a meeting and they, talk things over or whatnot, all right, and needless to say, things aren't on the same page, all right, and it was this post that was made. It was Walmart should stop lying, or so like it says, stop trying to blame tariffs as reason for rising price throughout the chain, okay? So you got these prices that's soon to be pretty much hiked up, all right, within these stores or even in these businesses, okay? It says Walmart made billions of dollars last year, far more than expected. It says between Walmart and China, they should, as is said, eat the tariffs. Okay, and there's a little bit more being said on there. But the point is, all right, I appreciate it. Let me go. The point is that recently these things have been talked about, all right, which scriptures came to mind, going into this, the storage houses, man. Okay, and how those shelves will want to become to be empty. Okay, and we're in a time where you're going to start to see a huge shortage of things, man. All right, you're seeing how this kingdom is being ran right now. All right, these people are about to come into being not only homeless but without food. All right, and the Lord said he was going to bring great death and destruction, famine. All right, even pestilence, all these things, man. Okay, throughout the scriptures. So this place is about to get hit with a major wave. All right, the next wave to hit this place is going to hit hard. All right, depending on how it might come. All right, these people who are living off of these these goods in these stores, man. Okay, and they they getting food from the stores, and they go in there and getting all they essentials and things like that. They're gonna be affected majorly, man, because see, these people don't have no clue. They really don't pay that much attention to it, man. All right, they just get up, go to work, go home, eat, sleep, shit, and go to sleep. Okay, and repeat the same thing over and over. All right, but soon, all right, this place is about to be hit with a major curveball, man. All right, and it's gonna have to wake a lot of these people up to reality that this place is, known as America, is through. All right. Now I'm reading it up. It says, and not charge value customers anything. I'll be watching, and so will your customers. All right. So he was pretty much talking his smack. Okay. Like don't point the finger at me. Reason why you about to up these prices, quote unquote, man. Because they about to use this situation, okay, to their advantage. And that's how these wicked elites work. Okay, even the lower class, all right, elites, that's how they work, man. All right, ones that have a major part within these business, okay, like Walmart, they all work off the same chain of command. They work off those same structure. All right, and it ain't a coincidence that this is a thing where it's starting to affect the stores and the shelves. All right, because this devil has these things already orchestrated in the form of being affected All right, when it comes to food, all right, when it comes to water, or comes to essentials, man. You see, it's all being mapped out. All right, right now it might seem like you see the calm before the storm right now. Right, it's the calm, it's relaxed, and everybody's still going to work and, you know, still living it up. Or it's a storm, a major storm, a strong one that's about to hit this place. Okay, and a lot of these people gonna have to, you know, wake up to that smell of coffee. Okay, now let me go ahead and grab these scriptures, okay, and bringing them out because, you know, Slakia, you know, this is I want to bring this out too. Because this is another reason. This is 4 weeks ago. All right, which we're gonna get to the scriptures. You know, I just want to make sure that I bring this out because previous, you know, before this post came, you had this article that was posted maybe a few weeks back, and it said CBS News. It says Walmart Target CEOs privately warned Trump tariffs could lead to empty shelves soon. All right, and that's what the point is. All right, going into this lesson, it says the chief executives of Walmart and Target privately warned President Trump this week that his sweeping tariffs policy could disrupt supply chains and lead to empty shelves in the coming weeks. Sources familiar with the White House meeting told CBS News. All right, so this is you know, a few weeks back. All right, about 2 to 3 weeks back, maybe 4. All right, about how these things are about to start being put in place. All right, where that's going to affect the shelves, you know, coming soon. You see, so now you had it where you got Trump, you know, responding. All right, to these things like, hey, don't point the finger at me for what's about to take place. Okay, but in reality, this is all orchestrated, man. Rather it take place now or a little bit down the line, a few months from now or tomorrow. You know, this is all set up, okay, for it to be the way it's about to go. All right, and that's going to lead to a lot of these people being in great distress. Okay, even in the state of depressed. Because that's going to cause you people to get real upset, man. Because these prices ain't going to be so cheap as they are today. Which I'm going to grab that. All right. Let's grab that. Let me see. It's a lot getting in transit right now. But I want to grab this right here. This is what is it? Second Ezra's. And it goes into it. All right, Second Ezra's, I believe, 16. All right, jumping down to verse 21. It says, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And right now, all these people think themselves to be in a good case. All right, because they still can go to the, you know, stores. They still can go purchase food. They still can go, you know, live off these things, man, and not worry about prices being so high. Now you had it where when the C-19 came out, you know, there was some type of, you know, price hike. All right, sort of. And even, you know, shortage within the stores. But, you know, people were still able to bounce back from that. Well, you come into again where these things are about to hit and could very much hit harder than it did with the C-19. Because, see, Esau's all about, right? Esau's so-called white man, okay, that rules earth today. He's all about, you know, playing on, you know, not letting things go, not letting the crisis go to waste. Okay, he's all about it. So he's behind those things that might lead to an issue when it comes to certain things in these stores, or when it comes to some type of pandemic, man. All right, just like you seen when they brought out the C-19, man. You see, and they used it to their advantage. So, with these tariff wars, it's just the same process, but when now it's being with your food. Now it's being with supply that's being shipped in here into America, man. You see? And that's going to cause a lot of these people are going to be looking clueless and confused and even shame in the face, man. Because they count on this place. They depend on it. All right? And we've been telling you people, man. We've been telling you so-called Negroes, Latinos who live in America, especially you, Jake, man. All right, that this ain't your rest, man. This is not a place where you should try to find a living, man. Okay? This ain't it, man. This place is through. All right? If you keep on trusting these devils, you're going to find out the hard way. All right? But it says, and I'll read that from the top again. Okay? It says, 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 21, behold, victuals shall be so good, cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in a good case. And like I said, people think themselves to be in a good case because it's still affordable. Okay, they can still go purchase and buy and sell. It's still affordable right now. Okay, it's not really high. All right, it says, and even then shall evils grow, in which evils goes into what? Bad times. Evil, okay, bad, okay, times, okay. We're in a time where it's going to get worse, all right, than the day before, than the week before, than the month before, than the year before. It's only going to get worse from now, as the scripture says, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, okay. This devil is not going to let a good crisis go to waste. All right, even though he might be behind orchestrating these things, man. You know, he's the puppet master, okay, to the puppet, man. And he's the one that's calling the shots. So he's not going to let that go to waste. It says, and even shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. And that's the time we're approaching. You're going to see more, okay, of these things get a lot worse here as this place come to its end, okay, as it's crumbling. You're gonna see a lot of these people be jacked up out here. You already got where they're cutting, all right, these programs and vouchers, all right, when it comes to tending to those that are in the low income areas. You know, they're cutting back on those vouchers, man. At least to 45, maybe 40%. Okay, that's like almost half, man. You know, in certain places, in certain states, is being affected by this. All right, especially you have with these women that depend on this place. You know, you about to get hit across your head, man. You already have where a lot of these women already in a state of living in a homeless shelter somewhere, man. You know. You women are through. So how much more when they start cutting back off of these prices, man? How much more when Walmart starts to lose, the goods that you are used to going to purchase at your local corner store or local grocery store? How much more will you be in great distress? These people are about to wake up, all right, to reality. That this place is going to be turned upside down, and it's going to be very, very bad out here. Okay, and all of the mirth and laugh and joy that's going to be stripped from these people. Okay, right beneath their nose. All right, it says going into 2nd Ezra 9, I believe it's 9 or 6. No, I believe 6, and it goes into it, and it says. 2nd Ezra 6, starting verse 22, it says, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. All right. The full storage houses shall suddenly be found empty. All right. And what did it say in the article? All right. It says the chief executive of Walmart and Target privately warned President Trump this week that his sweeping tariff policy could disrupt supply chains and lead to empty shelves in the coming weeks. Okay, so there you have it. those Walmarts, these Targets, these Costco's, these what's another big major one? Sam's Clubs. All right, BJ's. The list goes on. Soon these sales could be hugely affected, man. All right. Rather the prices are going up and more and more and more. You know, we seen where they had a shortage of eggs. We didn't see the eggs prices skyrocket, man. Eggs that was $3, maybe $4, you know, go to $8, $10, you know, for a pack of 12. Depending on what state you in, it's probably even more. $20 a pack, $25 for a carton of eggs, man. So if they can do that with some eggs, how much would they do that with just, you know, all the things that's there on the shelves? We're coming to a time where all these shelves that's getting supply in, depending on how these tariff wars go, might just be completely empty, man. You know, there's been certain states that's been affected, all right, by supply, supply problems multiple times. You know, Walmart shelves being completely empty. Individuals, people going in there to go purchase, you know, their daily goods, and it's not there. Just completely empty shelves. You know, this is what's coming to this place, man. And you still depending on it? You better seek YAHAWASHI. You better seek YAHAWASHI, man. All right. Reading it again, 2 Ezra chapter 6, verse 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. So you're going to see these places be soon found empty. And it's crazy because the Spirit had me I had to grab some stuff right now. All right, going to this Walmart, man. Okay. We're in a time where we're going to start seeing these people freak out, lose it, panic. Okay. Lose their freaking minds, man, because they can't go in there and get stuff, man. All right. Hey, we trust in YAHAWASHI. This is a thing that we do every day. Okay, to the best of our ability, man. Preparing our minds for things that's to come. All right, and getting that comfort through YAHAWASHI. See, these people, they count on Esau, man. They count on the government. They count on, they count on goddamn, what they call them. For lack of better words, they just count on the so-called white man. All right. Like Eve say, the government, my baby daddy. It's a word I was looking for, but hey, it slipped my mind a little when it come back to me. But this how they do, so they count. This is who they count on, man. Okay. They count on their superiors. That's above them. That's oppressing them at the same time. So when that time come, you're gonna be looking crazy out here, confused, shame in the face, man. When you walk into these stores and find out that you ain't gonna be eating that day, man. These people are about to find out. Verse 23, it says, and the trumpet shall give a sound which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. And it's going to take something to happen that's going to come to this place that's going to have multiple people, millions of people afraid. Okay? People are going to be in a state of fear and afraid of something that's going to come. All right? Can you imagine hearing alarms going off and you got an alert to hit your phone and say, wee, and then you only got 30 minutes and nuclear missiles being shot over here, man? You're going to be in a state of being afraid. When they tell you, hey, all hell can break loose, or this is going to happen, and major pandemic can happen, these people are going to be afraid. Verse 24, it says, at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein, with springs of the fountains. It says the springs of the fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. Right. So you ain't gonna be able to bathe. You ain't gonna be able to wash your behind. You ain't gonna be able to have nothing to drink, you know, you gonna have no water supply, man. You know, and these people are gonna, you know, they're gonna, you know, get, you know, angry. Okay, demons gonna start hopping on these people, man, because they're gonna start realizing that the comfortability they had before is starting to ease up, man, and it's gonna ease on into being in a state of being hard for them, or hardship, and they're gonna be looking crazy in the face. Can't bathe yourself, you know, out of nowhere power go out. You got no food and the power go out. You can't use the water. These people they gonna freaking go ham, man. These people gonna take actions in their own hand. And they gonna care that the love that scripture says, love him and he gonna wax cold. You see? And that can all stem from just not even having food in these damn stores. You know? You got one thing. What they have a saying, you know, can they get any worse than this? And then the shit get worse, you know. These people gonna be in that spirit, man. Can they get any worse than this? We got no food. We got no this, no this. You know, people gonna start to tap into that, you know, get it how you live, you know, mindset. And they ain't gonna show no pity upon their neighbors. All right. So reading it again, 2 chapter 6, verse 24. At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. Okay, so that's what's coming to this place. And it's only going to get worse and worse. And we keep telling you this. Okay, through the spirit and power by YAHAWASHI. I'm going to grab this right here. Like I said, I ain't gonna make this too long. Okay, but getting straight to the point. Okay, this is Ezekiel 33 verse 33. We'll close it out with this. It says, and when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come. So when these things come to pass, you know, it will come. You know, you're being warned, you're being told, you through the spirit and prayer of YAHAWASHI, you being, you know, ain't gonna be no you didn't know, ain't gonna be you didn't hear it, you didn't see it, you know, ain't gonna be no excuses, man. All right, because when it come, it's gonna come. All right, and it says, then shall they know that a prophet have been among them. Then you're gonna know a prophet have been among you. Okay, through the spirit and prayer by YAHAWASHI, giving you that fair warning. Okay, like you're gonna notice. All right, from you know, from a place that's requiring something, you get that final notice. These people getting a final notice, man. Okay, you getting a final notice, and after that, they on your ass, man. Okay, and a lot of these people are gonna have a whole bunch of things on their ass, man. Okay, that they ain't gonna get to a point they ain't gonna be able to escape. Okay, and this is why you're gonna need YAHAWAH by YAHAWASHI. All right. When you're hungry and you can't, you know, you ain't got no food, stomach's gonna be touching your back. These people gonna freak out, man. Let me see something, matter of fact. All right, let me see. Let me see here. It says, yup, this right here. I'm gonna grab this and then we close it out with this. This is the book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 9. It says, they that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. For these pine away, stricken through for want of the fruits of the field. All right. And that's the time we are coming to where it's going to be, these people are going to be out here being so hungry, okay, that their body is going to be down there eating at itself, man, pining away. Okay, they're going to wish that they would be rather, you know, slain with the modern day gun, okay, than be slain with hunger, man. Okay, for the one of the fruit of the fields. People gonna be hungry, desiring food, and they ain't gonna get it, man. Okay? They gonna be in great distress. These individuals gonna be out here cleaving for something, and they ain't gonna get it, man. Especially these wicked ass women. You know, she getting all these benefits from Esau. She about to find out how all that stuff is about to run out. It's running out right now. You know, how much more when it's being made public, being made known public. Okay? Hey, well, we ain't gonna give y'all this shit anymore. Alright? We cutting back off on that. You ain't getting this no more. Matter of fact, we ain't gonna have this for you. You ain't gonna have no food in the stores. Alright? If you want this, you're gonna have to go down to your local National Guard facility. You know? That's what we're coming to, man. Alright? So hey, that was on my spirit to bring out. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to you. Akima, Kwat, seeking Lord, true sincerity. Until next time I say shalom.